full body exercises that you can do at the gym, or you could do it at home if you have some weights too. So we're going to start with a couple of booty exercises first. First, we always need to warm up, as always, because we don't want to get injured. Please make sure you never skip your warm-up because it's so important in order to avoid injuries and to prep and get your body ready for your actual workout. If you haven't watched my previous video about what kind of exercises you should be doing to warm up and get your glutes ready, make sure you check it out. So this is one of the exercises that I talked about in depth in my previous video. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you do. So I'm going to start warming up with some fire hydrants, as always. So what you want to do is just grab a kettlebell, and the reason why we call kettlebell swings is because you're just gonna swing the kettlebell backward and push it forward. Let me just get rid of my resistance band, as it will be easier when I go down because I might hit the resistance band with the kettlebell. So that's the movement with no weight. So you want to swing the kettlebell all the way down and bending as if you were doing a deadlift, like this, and then push it up and squeeze your glutes at the top as you do it. When you come back up, is as well as always, make sure you do not bend, you do not overextend your back too forward. If you do this, and especially if you're using some weight with it, you might damage your lower spine. Just make sure you remember that the rule is that you don't want to, when you're coming up, you're squeezing your glutes, but some people might do this as well. So focus on squeezing your glutes, yes, but make sure you don't hyperextend your back forward like this, because it can really add pressure to your spine. So I'm going to do it with the weight. Swing back, squeeze. What you want to do as well while you do this movement is to keep your core tight. So next exercise is going to be the Bulgarian split squat, and we're going to do it, I usually do on a Smith machine. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that my favorite way to do Bulgarian split squat is on the Smith machine with the balls you go. But this is also a great alternative as well, and it's something that you could do at home. So obviously if you don't have a box, you could use maybe a chair or your sofa as well and grab 2 dumbbells. So what you want to do is just place one foot on top of the box or the chair, whatever you've got at home as well. Or if you're at the gym, of course, you'll just use the box. And lunge down. Come back up. Now, it is okay if your knees go slightly past your toes, What you don't want to do is obviously put all the weight on your knees, like leaning forward like this. You don't want to do that. Obviously, you need to shift all of your weight and back, so to your back leg. So where you're supposed to feel it is basically here, so on this cheek, because you're adding all the weight back. So do not add all the weight forward on your knees, so you can damage your knees. The main thing here is that your knee is aligned to your toes, so you're not facing the same direction and you're not doing this. Okay, so knee and toes, same direction. If you go slightly past your toes is okay, but make sure you don't add all the weight on your knees like this. Okay? Try to keep a 90-degree angle when you go down, okay? 90-degree. Next exercise, we're going to use again the kettlebell, and it's going to be a squat alternated with a deadlift. So this is very effective because you're targeting as you deadlift down with the kettlebell. I'll show you. You're basically targeting hamstrings and this part of the glute, which is the under glute, that will help lift your glutes. And as well with the squat, you also target your gluteus maximus too. You're going to start with a deadlift this way, and then you come back up, switch, and do a squat, and then again deadlift, squat, deadlift. So our final exercise for our glutes is going to be frog pumps. Frog pumps are a different variation of hip thrust. These are very, very good because they really target your glutes. So the difference between mainly a hip thrust and a frog pump is the fact that with a frog pump you keep a constant tension on your glutes because you constantly, literally you're pumping and just lifting the weight up constantly, whereas instead with the hip thrust I feel like the movement is a bit slower, so there is less tension, but they're both effective. So in terms of finding out which one you feel the most, it's up to you, because as I said, everyone is different, and some people might feel that they will feel the frog pumps more than a normal hip thrust or glute bridge. So I always recommend trying different exercises and always see which one works best for you and which one you will feel the most on your glutes. So always make sure you pay attention to your body and really try to connect that thing, mind to muscle connection. It can really help you understand which exercise will work best for your body. So with a normal glute bridge, for example, you just keep your feet on the floor. On this case, with the frog pump, feet will be together like that. Look at that, I'm just like such a weird position right now to explain. So feet are together, and you just, as you would do for a normal bridge, glute bridge, you just lift your hips up and down without touching the floor, okay? So that's the movement. These are frog pumps. And what we're going to do, I'm going to add some weight. If you want to practice, if you've never done this before, if you want to practice with no weight first, feel free to start with no weight, because you want to make sure you fully engage your glutes and you're used to them. Anyway, so let's start. And what you really want to do is you want to play with the foot position. So if you'll notice if you do it too close up like this, you will feel it on your quads. So you really want to find that distance and that the foot position that will work for you. That's why I always say you need to learn to listen to your body. So I feel like that with this kind of distance, I feel it a lot on my glutes. If I put my feet a little bit forward, I'll feel it on my hamstrings. If I put them too close up, I'll feel them on my quads. So always make sure you play up with the foot position and you really and truly understand how every exercise targets your glutes. Next, we're going to do abs. So the first exercise is quite simple. All you need is a dumbbell, or you could use anything really. So you use a dumbbell not as a weight but as a sort of obstacle. And these are exercises called, and we're going to do some leg crunch variation here, so side to side leg crunch variation. So what you want to do is just lift your legs up and crunch from one side and then crunch to the other side. So what you're doing, you're just leaning slightly backward and then crunching again and then switching side. Next core exercise I always like to do is a leg raise crunch. So what you want to do, so have your back flat on the floor, legs up, and mini jump with your legs. They'll just tend to stick the bum up, and you have to make sure that there is a straight parallel line that you form with your body to the floor. You don't want to stick your bum up. You just want to keep a straight line. So bum to the floor, nice straight line. Parallel to the floor, shift away from one side to the other. Next, another one of my favourite is quite simple, but it's very effective. But do not underestimate this. You can do it as a circuit. Right, so it's basically a leg crunch. So again, legs up, forming a 90-degree angle. And you want to bring your knees as close as possible to your chest, so one leg at a time as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one leg first, then one leg. Go back to the initial position. Same again with the other leg. And as well, what I tend to do as like a little tip, always hold on to the mat in here because you tend to slide forward otherwise. Now we're going to do some upper body exercises, but before that, we still need to warm up. So as we warm up our legs, don't forget to warm up your upper body as well. So always before any kind of exercise, you do want to take your time warming up and prepping your muscles, stretching them and getting them ready for the exercise. So you just warm up your shoulders a little bit. It's just a bit of a weird exercise, but you know what? Take your time. You do want to take your time to warm up your muscles because that is your body. You don't want to get it injured. So just 360 degrees rotation. I'm actually going to stand up a bit for this. And then I'm going to grab a small plate because, as we said before, every time we warm up, we always want to use little to no weight at all. So that's to warm up your shoulders again. So what you want to do is just little, there's like a 2.5 kg plate literally, and just rotate it. Then we want to warm up our shoulders again by doing a simple exercise. Literally the arm on a 90-degree angle. And do 10 reps of this. Same thing with the other arm. We're also going to stretch our arms. So one arm to the side. Take your time as always. Other arm as well. So first exercise is going to target your back wings, your triceps. I hear a lot of people that want to turn their underarms because they think they had a lot, because as women we tend to accumulate fat around our underarms. So obviously you cannot burn fat with exercise, with weight training, but what you can do, you can help, weight training can help you sculpt and tone your arms. But if you have a lot of fat to burn around this area, then you have to be in a caloric deficit. You know. The exercise then targets your underarm, so you want to grab a dumbbell. To be honest, I don't really like to go very heavy with my upper body. I'm happy, I don't really want to grow my muscles that much. I'm only doing it to tone. For this exercise, you want to hold the dumbbell up and then go down and then extend all the way up. You could do it with both hands, to be honest, but I like to isolate my muscle more, so I prefer doing it with one arm at a time. Triceps, literally put your palms on the box and lift your body weight up and down. The next exercise is a bicep curl. It's a bicep curl. So what you want to do is just twist your palm, bring the weight all the way up and down, and you will really target the front part of your arm, also called bicep, basically. keep your back nice and straight and just lift the weight up. I like to alternate this with this movement, with these lateral raises. That is the start position. Our next exercise will target your back. So what you want to do, you just bend forward, grab two weights and bring the weight up and down. And that is the movement, nice and simple, and it will really target your upper back. You bend forward and you really push your arms laterally. After this, I'm going to do a superset with no weight. So for the next exercise, you want to grab a plate, place it in front of you, and just rotate it. But anyway guys, that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do not forget to like and subscribe and support the girl as always. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next week.